Good morning, students. Today we will read about the unification of Germany. In CBSE also we have read about the unification of Germany. All these things were somewhat associated with the Industrial Revolution in Britain. Industrial Revolution which has changed the social scenario, economic, political scenario, has given new ideas of liberal thinking. Now, in the process of unification, there were certain problems in the unification of Germany. Problems, or we can say challenges in the unification of Germany. The biggest problem we heard was of Austria. Austria was the biggest hurdle or a problem in the unification of Germany. Then there was a great diversity. Yeah, we can say differences among the German people also. Next, weak army. Germany was not a very big military power like Austria, Britain, Russia. Germany was comparatively weaker. So that was also a big hurdle in the process of unification. Next, there were some problems, but there were some good things also, which has ultimately resulted in the unification of Germany. First is Zollverein. What was Zollverein? Zollverein was a custom union which was made on the initiative of Prussia. Prussia, maximum portion of today's Germany was Prussia, P-R-U-S-S-I. So, Zollverein was a custom union made on the initiative of Prussia. Clear? So, Zollverein was a custom union. Initially, it started in 1880. Some small states have joined it. Salzburg, Saarbrücken, Schonsberg. So, these were the small states which have joined in 1880. Then in 4, many German states joined this, and a large custom union was made. In CBSE also we have read about it. The railway lines were developed. Number of currencies were reduced from 30 to 2 currencies were there only. Internal custom duties were removed. Now, in these states, if a person is selling goods from this state to this, he need not to give any kind of import-export tax. So, this was how Zollverein was working. These were the problems. Among this, there is one problem: lack of awareness. So, these were the problems and the things which are had Zollverein. Clear? Next is intellectual movement. Intellectual movement started in many of the universities of Germany. There are some name given, Jena University, etc. And these intellectual movement emphasizes on one thing, that the German race is the best, the most superior race. And one name of one such movement is Burschenschaft movement. That was quite popular in Germany that time. Clear? And one more factor was that industrial development in Germany, which has also contributed in the unification of Germany. Now, actual unification. In 1848, we have read that a liberal initiative was there. Liberal initiative, middle class people. They have gathered in the St. Paul's Church of Frankfurt and they demanded a constitutional monarchy. Frederick Wilhelm was the king that time, and they said, okay, you remain the king, but you have to follow a constitution. Frederick Wilhelm refused. As he refused. I will not follow any constitution. I am an autocratic monarch and I will live as autocratic monarch. People waited for time. We have to wait some time so that the time changes and we can do what we want. People waited for a long time. Then came two main names. Frederick Wilhelm, then when he died, कहते हैं डेथ से पहले उनका कुछ मेंटल प्रॉब्लम भी हो गई थी, उनकी डेथ हो गई. William first became the ruler. William first was the old man of 64 years of age. And it is said, I still remember my teacher used to say कि विलियम फर्स्ट में सबसे अच्छी काबिलियत थी कि वो अच्छे लोगों को अपने पास रखता. He himself was not very brilliant, but he used to appoint very good people, and two such appointments were Van Loon and Van Wall. Van Loon was appointed as the war minister. And Van Wall was commander-in-chief. So these were the two such appointments. Van Loon and Van Wall, they have started reforming the army. पूरी मिलिट्री को चेंज कर दिया. कहते हैं 39 new infantries were developed, 9 cavalries were developed during this period. लोग नाराज, जो पार्लियामेंट थी, रिफ्यूज के नहीं ऐसा गजब हो रहा है. The liberals were against them. Mainly the liberals were outside the like people also. They said कि no, Germany is doing, Prussia is doing something wrong. Liberals were against war. They said to remove these two. But William first, he has changed the time that the parliament, it is a dismantle कि नहीं वापस इलेक्शन होंगे. But by chance it happened कि वापस वही liberals जीत के आ जाते इलेक्शन में. Now it was problem. अब कैसे चेंज करें? Van Loon gave one idea. Appoint Bismarck. Appoint Bismarck as chancellor. He will do all the things correct. And from here the fate of Germany changed. Otto von Bismarck. He became the chancellor. And after becoming chancellor, he said one thing. For me, Germany is most important. Neither this person or that. He started reforming the army, military again, and he has completely transformed Germany from a weak nation to a strong power. And he was ऐसा कहा जाता है कि दुनिया में सबसे दूरदर्शी व्यक्तियों में से एक माना जाता है ऑटो von Bismarck. With his diplomatic relation, etc., he has formed Germany, and now we are going out to read about that. Clear? Now the process of unification under Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck. The whole unification is related to three. Denmark, Austria, France, and in center is Prussia. Prussia did everything. Yes, or we can say Otto von Bismarck did everything. First of all, Denmark was finished. But the problem is hard. There were two duchies. Duchies of Schleswig. Clear? And honestly, these two duchies were protected by Denmark, but were not the integral part of Denmark. Denmark उनको protect करने की जिम्मेदारी थी. We can say it was like protectorate of Denmark, but were not the integral part of Denmark. Denmark tried to wanted to include these two duchies in Denmark. And people even say, okay, Otto von Bismarck instigated Denmark. क्या आप इनको दोनों को ले क्यों नहीं लेते? Now that is not also given in our book, so we cannot comment. But Denmark tried to include these two duchies in Denmark, जो कि उनका integral part नहीं, only were protected. Prussia went to Austria. See what he is doing, what Denmark is doing. You have to protect these two duchies, and we will support. Austria, a very powerful country, plus Russia. Attacked Denmark. Denmark was finished. They divided Schleswig and Holstein. Austria was given Holstein. Russia was given Schleswig. डेनमार्क पर अटैक किया गया, दोनों डचीज, एक पूरक एक नर. One was given to Austria, another was given to Russia. So, according to this, they attacked Denmark. Austria got Holstein, Russia got Salzburg, and there was one small duchy, Lauenburg. वो दोनों के पास, ऑस्ट्रिया के और प्रोशिया. This war was fought, ये जो लड़ाई थी, this was fought on in February 1864, and the treaty was signed, Treaty of and on 14 August, अखंड भारत दिवस होता है 14 अगस्त, वैसे ही याद रहेगा. 1864 Treaty of Gastein was signed, and according to this treaty, this thing was executed. According to the Treaty of Gastein, this was so Treaty of Gastein 14th August 1865. Treaty of Gastein, very important for examination point of view. 3 duchies, ऑस्ट्रिया को मिल गया होल्स्टीन, रशिया शाल्जबर्ग, एंड लॉयनबर्ग पे दोनों का कंट्रोल है ऑस्ट्रिया प्रुशिया. दिस वाज द फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ यूनिफिकेशन. क्लियर? देन नेक्स्ट वन, देन लॉयनबर्ग वाज सोल्ड टू प्रुशिया. पहले उनको दोनों का था, बाद में उन्होंने कहा ये प्रुशिया को बेच दी जाती है, तो लॉयनबर्ग वो अल्टीमेटली सोल्ड टू प्रुशिया. So this was the Treaty of Gastein. Schleswig was given to Prussia, Holstein Austria, Lauenburg sold to Prussia, and Kiel. Here Prussia got the right of fortification. वहाँ पर एक किला वगैरह वो बना सकता है. This was the right given to Prussia, and this is the completion of the first phase of unification. Now the second phase. Now in the second phase of unification, in this we have seen that Holstein was given to Austria, and now Prussia wanted back that Holstein कि हमने दे दिया पर हमें वापस तो चाहिए, और इसके लिए ये सेकंड फेज चालू होता है. The conditions which were there, one important country was Russia. Russia wanted somehow Russia को कंट्रोल करना है, तो there was a revolt going on in Poland. Prussia went to help Russia, and revolt को क्रश कर दिया. रशिया खुश, क्योंकि रशिया तो मदद कर रहा है. सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्री वॉज फ्रांस. Napoleon III was the ruler. Prussia went to France. I will give you big gifts. और वो गिफ्ट क्या होगा? some area near Rhine river, कि राइन के आसपास का राइन वैली है, तो राइन वैली का जो एरिया है, I will give you. But you have to keep quiet when there is any tension between Prussia and Austria. Russia, आपको भी कुछ नहीं करना है. If there is any war between Austria and Prussia, Russia will keep quiet. फ्रांस को लालच दे दिया कि भाई आपको कुछ बोलना नहीं, I will give you gift after the war. England had a policy, no interference in the matter of Europe. मेरे पास वैसे ही पूरा एशिया अफ्रीका है, तो यूरोप में क्यों इंटरफेयर करना, तुम्हारी मर्जी हो वो. तो इंग्लैंड ने कह दिया हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे. रशिया को वैसे ही कर दिया, कोई पोलैंड में आपकी मदद करिए, so now you be quiet. France, I will give you big gift. All these things were devised by Ottoman Bismarck. पहले ऑस्ट्रिया को साथ लाना, ऑटोमन बिस्मार्क का रोल. Now to defeat Austria again, yeah, for a war between Austria, there was one more country, Sardinia. Actually till here it was not a country or a state of Italy, we can say. Sardinia becoming important. Name was there Cavour. Sister went to Cavour. We are having a common enemy. और उसको अपने को हराना है, और उस कॉमन एनिमी को हराने में आपकी हेल्प करनी है, और वी विल डिवाइड द जो भी बेनिफिट होता है. सो इस तरह से एक पूरा डिप्लोमेटिक अलायंस वाज मेड. क्लियर? So next is now Holstein. There were many German speaking people. पूरा नेशन स्टेट का कॉन्सेप्ट ही एक कॉमन कल्चर. Holstein में एक बहुत बड़ी पॉपुलेशन थी जो जर्मन स्पीकर थी. They were not happy with Austria. हमें क्यों ऑस्ट्रिया को दे दिया? They started a revolt against Austria, and this revolt was supported by Ottoman Bismarck. Holstein. Revolt by German speaker. And revolt was supported by Bismarck. Now the problem started. On 3rd July 1966. July 1966. In the war of Battle of Sadova-Konengarz, the battle was fought in which Austria was defeated, and a treaty was signed, Treaty of Prague. Clear? Treaty of Prague was signed between Prussia and Austria, and according to this treaty, Holstein was given to Russia, and now the North German Confederation was made without any interference of Austria. मतलब ऑस्ट्रिया का काम खत्म. पहला किसको रहा? डेनमार्क. Holstein और ये उनसे ले ली. Second biggest hurdle was Austria, उसको खत्म करा. Now the third hurdle was that of France, Napoleon III. अब इसको खत्म करना. नेपोलियन बहुत अच्छा दोस्त था भाई. यहाँ पर नेपोलियन को कहा गया भाई यू हैव टू बी क्वाइट, वी विल गिव यू बिग गिफ्ट्स. अल्टीमेटली गिफ्ट देने की बात आई तब विच गिफ्ट खत्म, नो गिफ्ट. प्रॉब्लम यहाँ से शुरू होती है. नाउ इट वाज टाइम टू भाई फ्रांस को कैसे भी करके उकसाना है. क्लियर? नाउ देयर इज अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी. स्पेन में एक एम्प्रेस थी इजाबेल. शी वाज डिथ्रोन्ड, हटा दिया गया. और एक पर्सन था लियोपोल्ड, इसको राजा बनाना था. लियोपोल्ड वाज समहाउ रिलेटेड टू द रूलर ऑफ प्रशिया एक्सेट्रा. नेपोलियन III को ये पता था अगर वहां पर लियोपोल्ड जो है रूलर बनता है, इट विल इंक्रीज द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ प्रशिया, क्योंकि ये दोनों रिलेटिव हैं. फ्रांस अंडर नेपोलियन III सेंट वन एम्बेसडर. काफी इंटरेस्टिंग यहाँ पर एक किस्सा बनता है. बेनेडिक्टी, द नेम ऑफ द एम्बेसडर. बेनेडिक्ट आता है विलियम फर्स्ट के पास कि आप लियोपोल्ड को कहते हैं कि वो अपना कोई भी क्लेम नहीं रखे स्पेन का, एंड यू विल नॉट सपोर्ट. बोलता ठीक है, आई विल नॉट सपोर्ट हिम एनी. और वापस कहता है कि नहीं, फ्यूचर में भी वो कभी क्लेम नहीं करें कि मैं अपने जो चांसलर है ऑटोमन बिस्मार्क को उन्हें टेलीग्राम भेज देता हूँ, ही विल सी इन दिस मैटर. चलो ठीक है, he sent the telegram. Ottoman Bismarck got the telegram and he saw कि अच्छा अगर विलियम फर्स्ट accept whatever Napoleon III, the ruler of France, is saying, तब तो कोई लड़ाई नहीं होगी. He read the telegram in such a way that it completely changed the meaning. And he willingly tried to spread one rumor कि भाई जो विलियम फर्स्ट है, he has insulted the ambassador of फ्रांस, और फ्रांस के लोग नाराज, ऐसे कैसे हमारे एम्बेसडर की इंसल्ट कर दी. रशिया अभी तो 1-2 वॉर जीत गया तो कोई सुपर पावर थोड़ी बन गया. एंड फ्रेंच आर्मी वाज देयर कि नहीं ये तो गड़बड़ है. एंड दिस इज व्हाट ऑटोमन बिस्मार्क वांटेड. वो चाहता ही ये था फ्रांस कैसे भी करके अटैक कर दे एक बार, फिर तो देख लेंगे. क्लियर? सो दिस वाज द बेनेडिक्ट इंसिडेंट ऑन द, ये सारी प्रॉब्लम ना स्पेन की प्रॉब्लम, लड़ कौन रहे फ्रांस और रशिया. और इसी बीच में एक और चीज होती है, नेपोलियन III वांटेड टू इंक्रीज हिज इन्फ्लुएंस. वो चाहता था मेरे को लोग पहचाने, मैं अपना बड़ा एम्पायर करूं, मेरा नाम हो जाए. लग्जमबर्ग की जो डची थी, जो एरिया था, वो फ्रांस वांटेड टू परचेज फ्रॉम हॉलैंड. हॉलैंड के राजा को कहता भाई मेरे को ये बेच दो, पैसे ले लो. पहले शायद कहते हॉलैंड के राजा रेडी टू गिव, ठीक है पैसे दे दो, लग्जमबर्ग तुम खरीद लो. रशिया में नहीं 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 ऐसे कैसे आप बेच सकते हो, ये तो हम लेंगे. ये भी एक इश्यू हो गया. दूसरा स्पेन के जो किंग के ऊपर इश्यू हो गया. फाइनली देयर वाज अ बैटल बिटवीन द टू, फ्रांस एंड रशिया. फ्रांस वाज डिफीटेड एंड फाइनली द ट्रीटी ऑफ फ्रैंकफर्ट वाज साइंड. And by this way the complete unification of Germany was had. And in January 1871, William I was proclaimed the King of United Germany. Clear? And according to the Treaty of Frankfurt, Mays, Alsace, Lorraine were given to Prussia, and इससे ही पूरी जर्मनी बन गई. और इसमें सबसे बड़ा रोल किसका? ऑटोमन बिस्मार्क का. अपने यहाँ पे कई बार कहते हैं कि सरदार पटेल वाज बिस्मार्क ऑफ इंडिया. व्हाट बिस्मार्क डिड इन जर्मनी, सरदार पटेल डिड इन इंडिया. और अपने तो यहाँ से और ज़्यादा काम था. मोर देन 500 देयर वर प्रिंसली स्टेट, तो यूनिफिकेशन ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट था.